And welcome everybody to this week's episode. I say this week, maybe it's our bi-weekly right now episode of the Ball Guy and the Fat Boy. I'm the Ball Guy with my buddy the Fat Boy.
Roll Tide. It's been worse, so I'm not going to say nothing about it.
Yeah, no, I mean bi-weekly is a decent schedule for us, I think.
Kind of, especially with
But
the way life goes.
yeah, yeah. So it's the Sunday night before Christmas in 2024.
And the Cowboys just got through beating Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's almost like we don't even want a decent draft pick. We're shooting for 500.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, I really think that McCarthy's shooting to keep his job, and I think if he wins one or two more of these last two games, I think he will keep his job. And
I think he, I think he's already got it.
I maybe so, and I want that. I think I already established that I want that. I just want him to take play calling away from him, and and I want to improve our team. So,
I don't think they're going to take play calling away from him.
well, maybe I can only hope, but that's just my opinion.
But you only want him to take it away from him if we're going to get some like awesome OC come in here. I mean, if you're
You
going to
know,
have some mediocre guy or something come in, I mean, you're not going to be any better off.
maybe not, but we'll see how it goes. We got a lot. We got a lot of. We got a lot of eggs to break between now and then before we get there.
All right. So tell me you weren't nervous in that game because you're all about them winning everything they can win, where I'm not right now. But tell me you weren't nervous in that game whenever Tampa marches down the field, scores on them, makes them look horrible. Micah Parsons is huffing and puffing. He's taking plays off, which you normally don't see from him.
Not nervous at all. What are you nervous for? You ain't playing for nothing.
Well, okay, but yeah, well, you kind of are still playing for something. You're
No.
playing for draft positioning, and we're not helping that out. But
Uh,
that's why I think Mike McCarthy's keeping his job. The guys are still playing. I want to say a couple of them's come out and said, "Hey, I want McCarthy back." Some of them
yeah.
come out and said, "I want Zimmer back too."
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just going. I mean, it's just it's a crapshoot on what. I mean, I have no idea what at this point Jerry Jones is even going to do with the whole situation. I have no idea. Usually, I have a good sense of what's fixing to happen. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance of a bunch of different things.
Yeah, no, it could be.
I mean, we could blow the whole thing up. We could keep the whole thing the way it is. We could do some of this.
No, hey, if there's one thing we've learned from watching this team, they are not going to blow the whole thing up.
Well, maybe not, but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
I
there's
know. I'm just saying the blowing the whole thing up is out of the question. Not going to happen. Don't have to worry about that one.
okay. So I one of my favorite golf tournaments was this weekend. We got that. I had some bull riding. I got some bull riding updates. I watched the individual series, the Unleashed the Beast series, as far as the individual going for the individual championship this weekend. We also had college football playoffs this weekend. Did you see the air quotes? I put them in there. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I saw where the Rangers got rid of the first baseman with the Nationals for a pitcher. So, yep.
So who's fixing to play first base?
I don't know. Nathaniel Lowe's gone to the Nationals. We traded him for a pitcher from the Nationals today.
Okay. I hate to
Hmm.
see him go. I liked him.
I like Nathaniel Lowe. He had a little pop in his bat sometimes.
I kind of thought he was better when we went, everybody called him Nate, but I mean, he was there for a while before he told everybody, "Hey, my name's
Yeah,
Nathaniel. It's not Nate."
right. I mean you're right. So um so anyhow, and um I
That's our hot stove. Do you want to lead off with you want to lead off with your bull riding, or what do you want to go to here? You gave us a list of topics.
uh I mean, yeah, I'll lead off with the more obscure stuff, and then we'll get into the college football toward the end. Um, I'll start off with golf.
Okay.
The PNC challenges was this weekend, and that's where a pro tour of some kind, whether they were the senior tour, the LPGA, um, different the
So
PG
a
different
professional golfer, yeah.
takes one of their family members, whether it be a son, a daughter, a father, a mother, and they put those teams together and they play a couple day golf tournament out there in Orlando, and, and Tiger played with Charlie, and of course the um um I just went blank. Who was the guy in second? I just told had total blank.
Langer.
Langer, Bernhard Langer, and his son. They went to the playoff today, and Bernhard and his son got him. I think that's like the seventh time Bernhard with him of some semblance of his family has won that tournament. And but it was Tiger and Charlie in second, and but it was old Charlie Woods made his first hole in one today. Made his first
That's
eagle.
awesome. That's
Made,
awesome. That's a big moment right there.
made his first eagle today. Made his first hole in one today.
He
His
did
dad,
not make his first eagle.
yes, what his daddy said. First eagle he ever made was today.
No way.
That's what that was in an interview. You can go look it up. I swear, I wouldn't lie to you.
I mean, as good as he plays golf
Yeah,
and
his
as much
first,
as he plays on some
first.
of these par fives, there's no way he hadn't made an eagle.
Well, that's what I swear. That's what Tiger said. So I'm gonna believe the daddy.
Yeah, because Tiger would never lie about anything,
Tiger
right?
would about nothing like that. Okay, like I said, the Langers got first, the Woods has got second, and it was a good tournament, good golf. I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite tournaments of the year. And then the bull ride came straight out of your television in from New Hampshire this week. Uh, if I've been to New Hampshire, I can't remember what it was like.
Well, I
Uh,
sure don't think bull riding when I think of New Hampshire.
exactly, but they do. They stop in New Hampshire. Uh, there's cowboys and people riding bulls from New Hampshire every year. And a guy you probably never heard of, but came out of the woodwork today was your champion in New Hampshire was Derek Kobaba. He's a
You're right.
Derek,
I've never heard of him.
yeah, Derek Kobaba. He's won before, but it's been a long time. Matter of fact, I think this is the first uh, um, event he's won in like 7 years. So he was a little bit on a cold streak, but he went 4 for 4 in New Hampshire and had a good weekend. So he's the champion of New Hampshire.
Well, I guess you could say he was probably due.
Yeah, I guess he was, dude. But and they go from New Hampshire to Albany, they'll go to Albany, New York this next week, and you got to really kind of that series is on Pluto TV. It's Unleashed to Be series on. It's on Friday and Saturday nights. Uh, Most of the time, sometimes it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it's on Pluto TV. Pluto's free, so that's the only thing I know.
Okay, I may have seen that before, but
Yeah, and I have it. I have Pluto just to be able to watch bull riding. So those are my more obscure between the Rangers, um, the golf, and the PBR. That's my more obscure topics for this weekend. Yeah, like I said, like you said, we said at the top of the show, the Cowboys beat Tampa Bay in Dallas, and I just think, I mean, Dallas is getting healthy now, and and a lot of the young players are stepping up, trying to prove that they need to get a spot on this team for next year. So, and they played pretty decent. They still got a ton of people out, ton of people that may not even be on this team next year, but they're putting something together, and it just is what it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what they end up doing. I don't like I said, they're not blowing it up for
They're
sure.
ma- they're mathematically eliminated from playoffs for this year, so that's Uh, and when my team, my motto, when my team's out of it, I quit watching. Just like
You'll watch the playoffs.
oh, I mean, just because I have a podcast, maybe, but not because I care really who wins.
You'll pick a team and you'll follow them through the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna pick the best team, and that might be I don't know Kansas City.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, so
I don't know if they're not playing like the best team right now, but they may end up being the best team for you.
yeah. So then we had college football. We had Notre Dame smacking the dog snot out of poor Indiana.
Yeah,
We
I
had
got that one wrong. I really thought that Indiana was going to come in there and put a show on because it was their first opportunity, and I hope people were overlooking them, but it
well,
did not look like that was the case.
everybody forgets. Everybody forgets that, and it's all about what play the damn game. And Indiana hadn't played really any hard team all year. Um, and the first time they do, they get mollywopped. And I called that. Pretty sure that I said that out loud. And nobody wants to listen to the fat boy, but that's all right. I mean, you'll remember after it hurts.
Well, I mean, we have a podcast. I'm kind of have to listen to you.
And then Texas won the game, but they got caught playing with the food late, and we had a discussion off air about what playing with your food means. Remember when your mother you sat at the table and your mother said, "Boy, quit playing with your food and eat your food." Well, that's what y'all were doing. That's what Texas was doing with Clemson at the end of that game, playing with their food.
Well, that's okay. They still won the game. It's all that matters. Still in the playoffs.
Still won, still in the playoffs. Um, then you had the what was the game Friday night? Friday night was the Notre Dame game. What was the
Yeah.
who else? Tennessee. Tennessee just looked just about like poor Indiana did. Looked like they were playing JV ball when Ohio State was playing varsity. They got mollywopped, just like I said was going to happen. And then what was the last game? I'm forgetting. Help me out.
The last game?
There was one more game.
Wasn't that the SMU game?
SMU. SMU. Was that a butt kicking too? Did I call Penn State beating the fool out of them? And is that what happened?
I don't know if you called that or not. I thought you were on the SMU bandwagon here.
No, I don't remember. I think I'm pretty sure I picked Penn State to mollywop them, and I guess what happened too. But you can always go back on YouTube and watch last week's episode, and then next week in the chat or in the comments you can say that I'm a big fat liar, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
He says that until somebody goes back and checks on him. He's not
Well,
okay being called a liar, I promise.
I'm okay with being called a big fat liar. Have you know? Uh, and this week, so all the teams that got a bye this week will play all the teams that won. Ain't that the way that works?
Yes, that's exactly how it works. Yes, the conference champions will have to play this week. So you got Texas at Arizona State, Ohio State at Oregon, Penn State at Boise State, and Notre Dame at Georgia.
Yep.
So we got to pick these guys now that we're in the second round. What's your prediction? Let's start at the top of the bracket. Texas and Arizona State.
I got Texas mollywopping Arizona State.
You got
Uh,
Texas big, okay?
they don't, as long as they don't play with their food toward the end of the game, I've got Texas beating them bad.
Okay. So what about Ohio State at Oregon? I think
This was,
that's the best game of the weekend.
yeah, this was the 1 point game during the season out in Oregon. Where's this game? Is this in Eugene
In
again?
Oregon, yes, sir.
Um, I still got Oregon winning. But I think we're talking about a touchdown football game here.
Oh, you think it'll be close again, huh?
Yes, sir. Another real close game, and they wouldn't surprise me at all if Ohio State did win, but I'm taking Oregon.
All right. So up next, you got Penn State at Boise State.
Penn State is going to beat them so ugly they ain't even going to be able to recognize their own mamas. I mean, it's going to be bad. I mean, this is going to be the reason. Everybody after this week, everybody's going to know why a group of five team should not play a power conference.
Yeah, but a lot of people would say an independent like Notre Dame shouldn't be able to either.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is going to be a first rate example of what David and Goliath, what David saw, and David beat Goliath, but I don't think we're going to have a repeat of that. This, I mean, Penn State is going to be, in my opinion, which I can be 100% wrong. That's why it's an opinion. But in my opinion, I think Penn State's going to beat Boise State ugly, even with the runner up to the Heisman.
Okay. No, I think you're right. I think Penn State's gonna dominate that game.
Yeah, I don't think them boys are in the trenches. I don't think them boys are ready for what's fixing to happen to them. Them trenches are hard when you go from because you're not playing with the same caliber athlete when you go from group of five to elite power five.
You ain't playing with the same size athlete.
That's what I mean. I mean, and even the same caliber, so to speak, or star level, however you want to convey. I think Penn State across the board is better going into the game. Now they got to play the game they got to play the damn game, but I still think Penn State's going to mollywop.
I kind of want to come on here next week and get to talk about the fact that Penn State got upset, but I don't think we're going to do that.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not incapable of being wrong. It just don't happen very often.
We're going to have to talk to your wife about that one. All right. So the last game is Notre Dame at Georgia.
Before going in this weekend, I had this domination, by Georgia. After what I saw, how Notre Dame looked against Indiana, I'm torn right down to the dang middle. You pick first. Maybe I'll cheat off of you for a change.
Georgia is going to dominate the game. You had it picked right. Notre Dame come out and showed you something against an Indiana team that hadn't been in a big game. They weren't used to playing with that many people watching, with it meaning anything, man. This is the first time they've been good in years, and they just weren't ready for the moment. Sometimes you got to get up there and get kicked in the teeth before you realize that maybe you can build your program and build on it.
Or
But
let me ask this question: how many times have Georgia? I already know the answer to this question. Um, how many times have Georgia and Notre Dame
Notre
ever
Dame,
played?
I don't know. Is it
Three.
once? Three. Okay.
I mean, how many? What's the record? Who do you think's winning the series?
I'd say Georgia's probably winning the series.
Yeah, they played three times. Georgia's won all three.
Well, I think this is going to be number four. What do you think?
That's what I think too. But I do think the game might be a little more competitive than I originally thought. So I only say that the Georgia beats them by instead of mollywops them. I only think they beat them by two touchdowns to two touchdowns in a field goal range, something like that. Instead of just beating them ugly.
So basically, we're going to be very surprised and have to come on here and eat a little crow if next week there are better games than the Oregon Ohio State game.
Yes, that's far as where I'm sitting. I mean, I've been wrong before, but it hadn't been lately. So we'll just wait and see. Um, and then of course, I don't know. This needs to go without saying. My guy, like I told you, my guy would dominate the Heisman, and he dominated the Heisman. And Travis Hunter, he wanted. He wanted you. You said it was close. What I saw was a landslide.
No, no, no. It was close. It was like 200 points, 2,400 to 2,200 or something like that.
And 200 points is a lot to me. I thought.
Not in
Uh,
that. No, sir.
okay. Well, anyway, but Hunter did win it,
He did.
and
He did. You called that one. We were
early.
right there. Yeah. We were early on the two-man race, but you You had Hunter winning it, and I can't believe everybody else wanted to follow you around.
uh, so uh, so like I said, we'll have bull riding on Albany this next week. I don't know if there's going to be any golf this week or not. I know the Mavericks. The Mavericks didn't do great in the midseason tournament, but they were in it for a little bit. And Kyrie and Luka has been hurt some this last week, but I really think the Mavericks are going in the right direction. They look good.
So I got a question about this. Does anybody care about the midseason tournament?
I liked it. I don't know if anybody does. I liked it, but
I mean, the guys get paid, so they want to play in it. I mean, that's cash money for them, a little bonus. But
yeah,
as far as like around the league, do you think fans care? Do you think organizations care or anything like that?
I really, to be honest with you, I don't have a good sense of that. Um, I mean, I don't even know really. I don't know what the reason behind all that is. There's probably some big. There's probably some big mastermindable plan behind that, but I just don't know what it would be. I enjoyed it, but and so it is what it is. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot either way about it.
I mean, I don't really care about it. Like it gives a little bit of intrigue in the beginning of the season, and I think that's the kind of what they were wanting to do is just try to get people interested because nobody watches it until football's over.
Right.
So I think that was their whole point. I just don't know as though it worked like what they wanted it to.
Yeah. So anyhow, but um, after this week, um, how many how many games will we'll have? We'll have four. We'll be down to the final four in college after this week, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we're
And then
we're whatever you want to call the eight. We don't have cool names for them yet, but we are down to the top 8 teams right now.
eight as of right now. Four after this weekend.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then we're still 2 weeks away from the regular season being over in the NFL. I'm just trying to figure out how long before the UFL starts. I'm just trying to make sure I know when that's coming.
I think you're one of 10 people in the world trying to figure out how far away from that you are.
There you go. What else you got? What else you got?
That's about it, man. What you got any big Christmas plans?
No, it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty slow this year, I think. Uh,
Be
we'll just
honest with you, I mean, you got the beard and stuff going for it. I kind of thought we were going to get a little Santa Claus vibes from you tonight, but you didn't show up for it.
and I mean, you know, I like Santa Claus and everything, but we're just cousins. We're not. I'm not him. So
Well, and there was that little problem a couple years ago, whenever you kept trying to get them kids to sit on your lap.
oh yeah, nobody don't be putting that on the air. That's gonna get me arrested. Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, happy Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and Happy New Year. I don't know. I don't know that we'll. Uh, I mean, it just depends on how these holidays go. Whether we get back on the air again. I would like to say we're gonna be all back right on next week, but I don't want to lie to you either.
now I think we may be able to pull one off. We'll have our end of year show coming up a week from now.
I'm ready.
So we'll have to do like a year in review. You need to be working on that. Get us like a year in review coming in.
I mean, you make my head maybe make some notes on that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and check out all the episodes and just see where the high and low points were for us. I
A
think I
lot of
bet I think there's a lot more lower points than there are
lot.
high points.
I say they're making the same joke. A lot more lows than there are highs.
But all right, well, Merry Christmas from the ball guy and the fat boy. Like, subscribe, go enjoy your families, and we'll see y'all after the holiday.